Welcome everyone. Let me know if you can hear me. Please let me know. Let me know if you can hear me, ladies and gentlemen. Germs and worms. Let me know. We're sitting here on a beautiful Thursday, March 14th. All right. Well, welcome in everyone. So let's see who we got here today. I'm sipping on a wonderful coffee and I'm ready to get started. All right. So criminally focused. Welcome in. Bobby Smith. All right. And Peace. Peace is here. Welcome in, Peace. Criminally focused says long intro is kind of my thing and can always join later. That's what people do. Yeah, I don't give a shit. I do it the way I want it, right? Don't you do the things that you want the way that you want? Melon, hey, are you back, Melon? Welcome in. Amy, Amy's bringing flowers. What up, Amy? Sharon Neff back in. Hey, it's been about a month or two. What up, Sharon? Or maybe a couple weeks. I don't know. It's been a minute, Sharon. Welcome in. All right. Hey, everyone in the Lurker crew, join the chat. It's slim in here tonight. Everyone's over on other channels listening to their garbage. So while we let some people come on and file on in, please hit the like. Please go subscribe to that backup channel because we are very close to hitting our goal of 500 subs, and I am elated. And if you have not already subscribed to Criminally Focused, please go check her out. She has a new video today that's it's extremely sad, but also important, or it's urgent. So please go and subscribe to Criminally Focused. How much snow did we get? Not enough. Much ado about nothing. Maybe about 6 inches. Not a foot. They were saying a foot to 18 inches. No, no, we got about 6 to 8. But I know some other parts of the state got their foot or more. So, all right. So we have Captain Underpants back in the house. Welcome in, Captain Underpants. Wish everyone could get along on YouTube. Well, that's the problem. It's not just social dynamics here. It's not just normal social dynamics. We have an extremely concerning situation with YouTube, and if you don't believe me, you'll eventually will, because it will be proven. Um, we have a bad situation on YouTube. It's not just normal social dynamics, and you can take that to the bank, Captain Underpants. Prof True Crime is a backup channel. Yeah, please go hit it up. Please do that. We are maybe 20 away from hitting our goal of 500 subs on the backup. And hey, just today we hit 2,000 here on this channel. So man, it's just we got 2,000 on this channel, and we're about to hit 500 on the backup. So it's extremely nice time. I'm very happy that the channel is growing and that the backup channel is getting its footing, because anything ever happened to this channel, we'll need the backup channel. And I'll be glad to have a good grouping of people there ready to move forward. Hey, thank you, Melon. I see you just subscribed. Thanks a lot. Well, the extra benefit of subscribing to that backup channel, what I've been telling people is over on that backup channel, I post different things on the community page than I post on this one. So if you subscribe to both, you get the full community posting of, the prof. Otherwise, if you're just subscribed to this big one, you're only going to get whatever I post on this big page. So subscribe to both, and you'll get all the community posts if you're interested in that sort of thing. But thanks for being here. Let's see. We got Fur Baby Daddy coming in. What up, Fur Baby Daddy? Right here as usual. Yeah, regular. Fur Baby Daddy's been on board about a year. I really appreciate that. All right. Well, what else was I going to say? Yeah, do the normal things. Hit the like, and just join the chat, because this is here for you guys. We're going to have a nice discussion today. We will go through this third Franks, and after we go through that, we're just going to discuss some social media temperature. I'll put it that way. And then we'll get out of here. So we'll have a short show tonight. I would guess about an hour and 15, maybe an hour and a half at the most. So that's where we are. Anyhow, yeah, so please, if you're in the lurker crew, come on. You can't push the hearts. I don't know how to fix that, Amy. I'm sorry. Can't push the hearts. I don't know, Amy. I'm lost. Let me pull up this document. We'll get right through it, and then that'll get us on into the important discussion. I know many of you have already probably watched a few other channels that went over this. Everyone's just been jumping on these documents because everyone's excited. And I'm excited about the documents, but I don't feel I have to ever be first to jump on and read them to you. I prefer to do my evening shows because I'm comfortable doing that. Welcome in, Deanna Burdett. Welcome in. All right, so here we go. Let's get started. All right, now you sweeties can see that, I'm sure. Let me get reading it for you. Get to reading it. Now this is it won't take long. I think we'll be through this in 45 minutes, okay? This just dropped today, or well, it could have been last night. Anyhow, this is Richard Allen's third Frank's notice and request for Frank's hearing based upon newly discovered evidence. So that's one thing, and I think you'll be interested to hear that if you have not already. And a request for finding of facts and conclusions of law upon any ruling on this request. So, so here we're going to hear some things that we have not heard before, and that's the important thing. That's why it's worth reading. Okay. And welcome in Noe Amos at Venue 3. Go subscribe to his channel too. Hey, subscribe to everyone in the channel, in the chat who has a channel. Yeah, so here we go. I'll try to get started here. On September 18, 2023, the defense filed its first Frank's notice, which consisted of a 136-page memorandum in support, okay, detailing certain evidence that Tony Liggett failed to include in his search warrant application. Certain evidence that was detailed in his search warrant application that was false, and evidence that law enforcement had acted in an intentional manner on multiple instances, attempting to conceal evidence from the defense, and failing to tell the truth under oath concerning certain evidence. So I don't know about you guys, but that sounds pretty concerning to me. So let's reiterate those 3 points. The claims made here are that certain evidence that Tony Liggett failed to include in his search warrant application. So purposeful omission is the bullet point for that one. Purposeful omission. Certain evidence detailed in the search warrant that was false. So lies. And evidence that law enforcement acted in an intentional manner on multiple instances, attempting to conceal evidence from defense and failing to tell the truth under oath. Okay, so we call that purposeful omission, lies, and hiding of facts. Okay, very, very concerning points. Okay, the defense incorporates the contents of its first Frank's notice and memorandum into this document. Well, hell, here's a point that many would miss regarding this. You may remember that we spent about 20 hours reviewing the Frank's memorandum in detail. I made that in a series called, it's a 5-part series called Deep Dive into Frank's Memorandum, 136 pages. Those 136 pages are extremely concerning and filled with facts that would cause one to take a second take, okay? With the filing of this document yesterday, this is the 3rd time that 136-page Frank's memorandum has been reiterated, okay, or the 2nd time it's reiterated. So in other words, this brings this Frank's memorandum, the 136 pages, up to date to this very day. So at this very moment, what we're looking at is that the 136 pages come back into play this very day, okay? So that's a very important point to make and for you guys to take note of, that 136-page Frank's memorandum is by no means old news, okay? Extremely relevant. And actually, with this filing, it's extremely pertinent and up to date. So that means that as of yesterday, the Frank's memorandum has been brought back into play. And remember, those 136 pages are a mountain of concerning evidence, all of which is drawn directly from the discovery provided to the defense by the prosecution. Okay, number 3, on October 3rd, 2023, this is the very day of the leak disaster. Okay, I want you guys to keep in mind the leak disaster, I am alleging, was intentionally caused to take attention away from the 136-page Frank's memorandum and attempt to dispose of it by disposing of the attorneys for Mr. Richard Allen. So on October 3rd, 2023, the day of the leak disaster, the defense filed its 2nd Frank's notice, detailing how the prosecution and law enforcement had attempted to conceal the identity of a Purdue professor whose testimony contradicted that of law enforcement officers Tony Liggett and Jerry Doughboy Holman. This notice was provided as a supplement to the first Frank's notice in order to bolster the defense contention that the state of Indiana and law enforcement were acting intentionally and or with reckless disregard of the truth to further support the request for a Franks hearing. Okay, so basically what we have here with this document is the third doubling down, or the tripling down, I guess would be a more appropriate term. We're looking at the tripling down the claims made in the 136-page Franks memorandum, and I just want that to be absolutely clear to you guys. Number 4, the defense incorporates the contents of its second Franks notice, filed on October 3rd, the date of the leak disaster, into this document. Okay, turning the page. After Franks 1 and Franks 2 were filed, just before the defense was kicked off the case in October 2023, the defense received certain geofencing evidence that it did not have an opportunity to fully examine, explore, or discuss with its experts. Why? Because they had been kicked off, okay, temporarily, until the Supreme Court reinstated them into the defense of Mr. Richard Allen. Just after the defense was reinstated on the case in January 2024, remember when we should have been going to trial, it received certain discovery in the form of a September 22nd, 2023 report. Remember, this is only a handful of days after the filing of the devastating 136 pages. This report, authored by Sergeant Jerry Doughboy Holman, purportedly memorializing an interview that he had had with a former Purdue professor named Jeffrey Turco. Okay, both the geofencing evidence and Holman's September 22nd, 2023 report provide new information that supports the defense request for a Franks hearing. Specifically, the defense received certain geofencing evidence that at least 3 persons were in or around the crime scene at a time while the murders were allegedly taking place, according to the law enforcement timeline. And none of the owners of the phones have any connection to Richard Allen. This geofencing evidence would provide evidence of any of the following scenarios. A, those persons walking with the phones are witnesses that would have observed the murders as they were taking place, and none of them have identified Richard Allen. Or, those persons walking with the phones were witnesses who observed nothing, as the murders did not take place the afternoon of February 13, 2023. Well, that's an error there. Okay, that should say 2017. But the victims were taken to the crime scene after the search was called off. And remember, that is our theory, that those girls were not murdered there at that place and time, but murdered elsewhere at a later time. And then after the search was called off over the midnight hours, they were brought back to that location and left there. And C, those persons walking with the phones were participants in the murders, which is highly likely. And it is my contention that they probably were part of the group that was responsible for the murders, is my opinion. We may be looking at the group, and we probably are looking at the group who abducted these young ladies. Number 10. Said geofencing evidence was so important to somebody involved in the investigation that they created a map and plotted the movements of those persons, including movements that showed that at least one of these persons was within 60 to 100 yards of the crime scene at a time while the murders would have been committed according to law enforcement's timeline. The phones, once again, had no connection to Richard Allen. Furthermore, the map shows that the other 2 phones and the persons carrying those phones were in and around the crime scene between 12:39 p.m. and 5:49 p.m. on February 13, 2017. That the defense has sought out, but not has been provided any documents or reports that contradict or refute said geofencing evidence, but have not found such evidence, nor has the prosecutor provided any when the defense requested reports on said geofencing. Okay, number 13. When Tony Liggett drafted his affidavit for a search warrant of Richard Allen's home, he concealed from Judge Diener the fact that at least 3 phones and the people using those phones were moving in and around the crime scene at times when the murders would have been taking place according to law enforcement timelines, and that Richard Allen was not in any way connected with those phones. Isn't that interesting? Tony Liggett should have notified Judge Diener that certain people who are not named Richard Allen nor connected to Richard Allen were moving in and around the crime scene at a time when Liggett claims the murders were being committed. Okay, so this would be referred to as exculpatory evidence or potentially exculpatory evidence. 15. It is reasonable to conclude that if Tony Liggett had notified Judge Diener that certain people not named Richard Allen nor connected to Richard Allen were moving in and around the crime scene, then Judge Diener would have not signed the affidavit, especially based upon the paucity of evidence otherwise contained in the affidavit connecting Richard Allen to the murders. And remember, Tony Liggett did misrepresent and construct elements of witness statements. Said geofencing information would have provided evidence to Judge Diener that negated Richard Allen's presence at the crime scene. Liggett should have told Judge Diener that crucial, relevant, and exculpatory information which had been available since 2017, especially when Liggett's affidavit was written in October 2022. Over 5 years later, 5 years. Additionally, Sergeant Jerry Holman's September 22nd, 2023 memorialization of his interview with Jeffrey Turco once again reveals that he attempted to deceive the reader of said report by leaving out key information and words uttered from the mouth of Turco concerning the likelihood that the sticks left behind were in fact runes, making Odinism's involvement in the murders more likely and worth investigating. Holman also failed to recite the full words of Turco concerning the plausibility that those who left the runes behind were involved in some type of human sacrifice. Remember, we read that yesterday, okay? All right, number 18. On September 22nd, 2023, remember, this is just a few days after the very concerning 136-page Franks memorandum was dropped. Holman wrote a report in which he failed to mention the word rune or any derivation thereof when memorializing the words of Turco. That was intentional, wasn't it? Holman and Liggett, what is the deal with you guys? Runes were a big part of Turco's interview, yet Holman chose to exclude the word rune or any derivation of that word from his report. Instead, the relevant part of Holman's report was the following. I asked him, Turco, to summarize his findings, and he said they were inconclusive. In his opinion, he thought the sticks were placed deliberately, but was unsure what they meant. He said that he provided some educational guesses in his report. I asked him if the Odin religion practiced ritualistic human sacrifices, and he said no. He stated that no evidence or research indicates that religion practicing human sacrifices. He told me that if someone Googled searched it, they may see that the Vikings were accused of human sacrifices, but he said there is no proof of it. I asked him if he ever heard of ritualistic human sacrifices around here, and he said no. He told me not even in Norway, where this type of religion is more prevalent, Has he heard of any ritualistic human sacrifices? What Holman failed to write in his report were Turco's words that more strongly detailed how Odinism was likely involved in the murders, due to the likelihood that the sticks were formed into runic script. It's a given, and that's in quotes. And how it was very plausible that human sacrifice could be a component to said murders. Oh, well, sounds like Holman totally and completely misrepresented Professor Turco's conclusions. Because Holman had swore under oath in his August 10th, 2023 deposition that the sticks found at the crime scene did not represent Odinism or any type of cult worshiping or any type of a group that would have conducted the crime, it was in Holman's interest to hide the actual words of Professor Turco concerning the likelihood that the sticks were formed as runes are significantly featured in Odinism. Turco's words and information that Holman left out of his report include the following. Okay, here's where you perk up your ears. All right. Okay. Oh, let's see. A. After viewing the way the sticks at the crime scene were arranged, quote, it was a given, quote, that the pattern of sticks was someone's attempt to replicate a Germanic runic script. B. One of Turco's colleagues, a Harvard professor with even more expertise, agreed. C. Odinism is an extreme neo-pagan, neo-heathenism ideology that has right-wing racist connotations. Brad Holder and Patrick Westphal were known to be involved in extremist racist groups. D. Although he could not necessarily interpret the intended meaning of these sticks formed into runes, the stick configurations were pretty clearly runic, and that he, quote, could certainly imagine that this was somebody's idea that when you do human sacrifice, you carve runes. There are some poetic sources that would sort of support the idea that somebody might have come across. That scenario seems entirely plausible to me, close quotation. This is a taped statement of Turco, by the way, which does hold some weight. Okay. E. Furthermore, Dr. Turco discussed how runes were thought to have magical significance, and this is in quotations, and would be used in incantations and in rituals, and that there is a sacrificial connection in mythological poetry. Close quotation. Again, this is a taped statement. According to police reports, Brad Holder told Amber Holder that he and Patrick Westphal had a falling out over something that happened in the woods near a river during a ritual. You guys certainly must remember that from the 136 pages. Okay? Please, if you have not delved into the 136 pages and thoroughly understood the contents of those 136 pages, I recommend you do so immediately. As a resource for you, I reiterate that we spent 20 hours going through this 136 page Frank's memorandum with a fine-tooth comb, and it's here at your disposal in a playlist entitled A Deep Dive into the Frank's Memorandum, and that's there for you, okay? In other words, here is what Holman did not write in his report. Turco told me that it was a given that the arrangement of the sticks were part of a runic script. Investigators have learned that runes are a feature of those who practice Odinism, and those who practice Odinism are sometimes aligned with racist extremist groups. Brad Holder's son, who parenthetically was dating one of the victims, had some type of dating relationship with one of the victims, and Brad Holder was an Odinist fascinated with runes, which are found throughout his Facebook page. Yes, if you were to take a deep dive into Holder's Facebook page, you would see repeatedly the photographing of sticks in the woods formed into runic symbols. Brad Holder and Patrick Westphal were also affiliated with racist extremist groups. Also correct. Also, Turco admitted that it was entirely plausible that somebody would read something on the internet indicating that Viking religions involved human sacrifice, and that same person could have an idea that when conducting a human sacrifice, runes should be carved or made, and that runes have a magical significance and would be used in rituals. Brad Holder told his ex-wife that Brad and Patrick Westphal had a falling out in the woods near a river in February 2017 due to something that happened at a ritual, a disagreement. It must have been a big deal, right? 23. Instead of including Turco's words detailed in the previous paragraph, Holman wrote that Turco's findings were, quote, inconclusive, and then failed to even mention the word rune even a single solitary time. Yes, it feels like misrepresentation, doesn't it? If you're trying to hide Turco's actual opinion about the linkage between the stick configurations left on the bodies of our poor murder victims and a runic script, and the entirely plausible opinion that human sacrifice could be a component of the murders, then you would draft your report as Sergeant Holman did, as quoted from his report in paragraph 18 above. Okay? Sounds like this is a effort of misdirection on the part of Holman. If you are trying to provide an accurate accounting of Turco's opinion, then you would write it as in paragraph 22, which was a hypothetical construction of how Holman should have conveyed the words and opinions of Turco to relay them more accurately. 26. Due to Sergeant Holman's sworn testimony from his August 10th, 2023 deposition, Sergeant Holman had a lot at stake when he interviewed Turco. Ideally, in order for Holman's sworn August 10, 2023 testimony to be true, Turco would have told Holman's words to the effect, of, quote, that configuration is not runic, and therefore that arrangement does not represent Odinism or any type of cult worshiping or any type of a group that would have conducted the crime, close quotation. Unfortunately for Sergeant Holman, Turco did not state words to that effect, quite the opposite. Yes, that's what I'm getting at. It seems like a misrepresentation of the expert opinion of not only Holman, but the Harvard professor. This explains why Sergeant Holman initially attempted to hide the identity of Turco, doesn't it? Remember, both he and McClellan appeared to have attempted to hide the identity of Mr. Turco. Okay. He then attempted to conceal Turco's actual words in Holman's September 22nd, 2023 report that, quote, it was a given, close quotation, that someone was trying to replicate a Germanic script, runic script, and that it was entirely plausible that a person believed that human sacrifices involved the use of runes. 28. In the defense counsel's experience, some lawyers simply don't listen to a tape recording of an interview, but rather rely on the veracity of police reports that memorialize that particular interview. In this very case, for example, Brad Holder's February 17, 2017 videotape statement was purportedly erased. Only a short report memorializing that taped interview exists. Therefore, the defense is being forced to rely entirely on the words and context of the author of that interview and what he chose to include in that report, rather than the entirety of the actual words uttered by Holder, not to mention the nonverbal language. The way that Holman memorialized his interview with Turco, detailed above, should cause alarm about what law enforcement chose to include or not include in their reports. Remember, there's a big difference between what Turco actually said and what Holman included in his report. The tape recording is the best evidence. What Brad Holder shared with investigators in his February 17, 2017 interview, but the authors chose to leave out, even innocently, not knowing what was important at the time, could be exculpatory in nature, or lead to exculpatory evidence exonerating Richard Allen. However, at this time, we're expected to simply accept that the words written by the authors of Holder's erased interview provide the full gamut of information needed to protect Richard Allen's rights. Again, Holman's memorialization of Turco's words in this case should cause grave concern to this court as it relates to any erased videotape interviews. No one listened to Turco's actual words spoken to Holman on that audio tape, then Holman's deceptive memorialized report would lead to the reader with an would leave the reader with an entirely different perspective than what Turco's words actually revealed. And I just want you to consider that. Had the attorneys not heard Turco's actual words, they would have come away with a completely different conclusion. Now, this conclusion would have been the conclusion that Holman intended them to come away with, rather than a conclusion derived from what Turco actually meant in his communications with investigators. As it relates to Franks, the defense is required to show that law enforcement acted intentionally when including false information in the affidavit or when omitting important information from the affidavit. All right, let's get ready for this one. It would be highly unlikely that Liggett would admit, quote, "I intentionally omitted important information from the affidavit, and I also intentionally included false information in the affidavit, i.e. lied. Also, I wrote the affidavit with a reckless disregard for the truth." Quote, close quotation. If the standard to get to a Franks hearing is that law enforcement must admit that they acted intentionally or recklessly, then a Franks hearing is a legal fiction, as no law enforcement officer will make such admissions. Therefore, the defense is left with providing information of times and occasions when law enforcement attempted to conceal evidence or outright falsify information in other contexts in this case. Franks 1 and 2 provided multiple examples of law enforcement concealing or attempting to conceal evidence, and of law enforcement not telling the truth under oath, i.e. lying under oath, all backed up with exhibits that support these contentions. 36, in section 3 of the September 18 Franks memorandum, remember the 136 pages? Section 3, the defense provided irrefutable evidence that Liggett provided false information in his affidavit concerning the words that Sarah Carbo spoke face-to-face with Tony Liggett in 2017. when describing the man she saw on the road just before 4 p.m. Remember, I went on and on about this because this infuriated me. Liggett told Judge Diener that the man Sarah Carbo observed was the same man that Betsy Blair observed on the Monon High Bridge approximately 2 hours earlier. The problem was that when Carbo told Liggett in 2017, what Carbo told Liggett in 2017 concerning this man's description was not the same as Betsy Blair's description. I.e., Liggett did not tell the truth. The descriptions did not match. Hello? As a law enforcement officer in a position of authority, integrity is the number one quality. This person has the authority to kill, to arrest, to detain. It is incumbent upon people in these positions of authority to operate with extreme integrity and honesty. In this case, you have someone in a position of authority, such as Liggett, completely misrepresenting the facts that the witness had given. Liggett then misrepresented Carbo's words so that they were consistent with Betsy Blair's description. And then, for good measure, and this is the really disgusting part, added that Carbo observed blood on the man. Remember? Bloody. When that is not exactly the truth of what she told Liggett to his face in 2017. I.e., Liggett did not tell the truth. There was no muddy and bloody. The defense would ask the court to reread Section 3 in its entirety, and also to review the attached exhibits to the September 18, 2023 Frank's Memorandum that provide absolute proof that Liggett misrepresented Carbo's words. Liggett has committed the ultimate fail when it comes to writing a PCA. Liggett has constructed a poisonous tree, and the fruit of a poisonous tree is poisonous. "39. The defense would ask the court to reread Section 3 in its entirety, and also to review the attached exhibits that provide evidence that Liggett omitted crucial information concerning Betsy Blair's description of the man she observed from only 50 feet away on the High Bridge, as well as a description of a vehicle found at the CPS lot after she left the trail that does not match any of Richard Allen's vehicles whatsoever. I would remind you that a 1965 Mercury Comet does not resemble in the slightest a 2000s Ford Focus, which was Richard Allen's vehicle. Not only are they from two completely different eras, they are two completely different dimensions, and there are two completely different profiles. The 1965 Comet is very angular, low to the ground, and long. A contemporary Ford Focus is somewhat squat, rounded, and a shorter vehicle significantly shorter. There is almost no way in the world that anyone, regardless of their familiarity with vehicles, would confuse a 1965 Mercury Comet with a contemporary Ford Focus. It ain't gonna happen. Okay. Now, let's continue. The defense would ask the court to reread the rest of the Franks 1 and Franks 2 in order to gain perspective on the many instances of law enforcement not telling the truth or attempting to conceal evidence and the truth. The third, Frank's notice, this notice here, provides additional evidence of omitted information of which Judge Diener should have been advised, and that is the geofencing data concerning 3 phones shown to be moving in and around the crime scene at a time when law enforcement would state the murders were being committed. This third Frank's notice provides additional evidence that Sergeant Holman's own sworn testimony in deposition was false concerning the findings of the Purdue professor, as Turco's own words confirm in a September 19, 2023 interview. Okay? We now know Professor Turco's own words, and we know Sergeant Holman's own words. Unfortunately, for Mr. Holman, they do not align. This third Frank's notice provides additional evidence of law enforcement's intentionality of concealing evidence, as Sergeant Holman's September 22nd, 2023. Remember, this is only a few days after the 136 pages. His report attempted to conceal the actual words of Jeffrey Turco. Sergeant Holman had sworn under oath that Turco did not find Oddinism or cults as being involved in the murders, but Turco's own words show Holman's testimony to be false, or at a very minimum, extremely misleading. It was in Holman's best interest, therefore, to omit or water down much of Turco's own words in his report, which is exactly what Holman did. Not only that, remember that he and Nicholas McClellan attempted to hide the identity of Mr. Turco. Okay, remember that. The defense is asking, based upon this third Frank's notice, as well as the other Frank's notices and the 136-page Frank's memorandum, to set this matter for a Frank's hearing to argue that all fruits of the search of Richard Allen's home be suppressed. Remember, the fruit of the poisonous tree. The fruit of the poisonous tree. Additionally, the defense requests that on this serious matters this is a typo here. It should say that on these serious matters raised in Frank's 1, 2, and 3, as well as the exhibits that back up those matters, the court issues findings of facts and conclusions of law as to how and why the court ruled in whatever manner it rules on the defense request. Okay, so what's being asked here is that if and when you rule on this, and remember that we are not only talking about this particular document, but this particular document incorporates or absorbs the entire 136 pages into itself. Okay, so this here is 8 pages, and the 136 pages is 136 pages. Okay, so we have, what is that, 144 pages. Okay, so what's being asked is that in the ruling regarding these 144 pages concerning Oddinism, Liggett's outright misrepresentation and the lies on the PCA for the search warrant, and the extremely concerning geofencing data showing 3 phones at the crime scene at the time the law enforcement is alleging the murders took place, and the misrepresentation of Professor Turco's own conclusion and the advisement of the Harvard professor's conclusion that any ruling on all of these matters be supported with findings of fact and conclusions of law. Okay, so it's extremely good. It's extremely good. It's asking, show us. Okay, show us. So, with that said, the document's done. Okay, that's what we have today as far as this particular document. And so that brings us up to date now. Okay, that does bring us up to date. So oh, I apologize, hit the wrong button again. All right. Now, let me check in with the chat before we get on to our part two, which I call the addendum, okay? Colluding YouTubers and bullshit. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take a look at the chat, and I'll say hello to everyone who came in and see what you guys got to say. And then I want to get on into some social media response and commentary. I think you guys will find extremely entertaining. That'll be our comedic relief section. So just a moment, and we'll get into that comedy relief. But let's back it on up and see who walked on in when I was reading. Happy Thursday to everyone who have not said hello to yet. All right. All right, let's see what we got. Ronnie Reed is in the house. Welcome in, Ronnie Reed. Okay, Ronnie Reed says, hi, all. And Digital's in the house. Welcome in, Digital. Good to see everyone. And Freckle Joy's in the house. Hey, man, all the regulars are coming on in. Love you guys. Thanks for coming. Okay. It's kind of cool to know behind the scenes you helped take some idiots down. Now for the rest of them. Yeah, well, we're still working. We're still working every day. Hey, look at Luna Ray coming in. Beautiful local Luna Ray. Hey, Luna. All right, it's a God thing. Welcome in. It's a God thing. Good to see you back. Another regular. All our regulars coming in. Anyone in the lurker crew, please join the chat. Now's the time. Join the chat. Here, now it's time to run our mouths, right? I don't think we'll see a contempt hearing, not on the defense attorneys anyway. If it does take place, it's fake. And snarky ass Angel in the house. Welcome in, Snarky. Hello, Prof, and everyone. Digital says, walking with the phones, not the people who the phones are actually registered to. Who the fuck knows what the phones? Don't you guys want to know the names of the owners of the phones? So we have 3 phones lurking around the crime scene at the exact time law enforcement is telling us these girls go missing. Don't we want to know who these phones belong to? Amy says there was an interesting video today on geofencing on the channel Don't Hate Create. Thanks, Amy. I forgot to go back and watch that. Okay, Fur Baby Daddy says I'll check that out. All right, Aaron Town, welcome in, Aaron. Good evening to everyone. Hi. Hey, Bobby Smith's coming in. Yes, it's concerning, and you watched it. Okay. Hey, Blondie22 in the house. Welcome in. Thanks for coming back in, Blondie. Aaron says, that line gets me every time. I hate that they use my country as an alibi for white supremacy. Isn't it bullshit? Isn't it bullshit? Yes, that's what they do. They co-opt. The white supremacists, they're such a small bullshit gang, but they co-opt everything. They co-opt the politicians. They co-opt religions. They co-opt localities. They co-opt history. They are a futile bunch living in squalor and delusion, and so that's all they can do is co-opt that which is not theirs. Hey, I'm a paramedic now, moving up in the world. Amy says that's a bomb. Okay, Aaron says I wish I knew the standard correlation of what was said versus what was heard, so I could compare it to Holman and Liggett's statements. Yeah, me too. Okay, hope we hear from Amber on the stand. And Ellen West, welcome in. Ellen says, hello, Prof, you made it. Hope you had a good day. Yeah, I did. It is a good day, you know. Hello, chat. Holman proves to be a very poor receiver of communication and an imperfect communication of information received. Communicator of information received. Yep. Frenchie6290, my man. Welcome in, Frenchie. Hello, all. I am busy and just will have to lurk. Okay, French, lurk. Glad you're here, Frenchie. Amy, I have a foot of heavy, wet snow, and more is coming. Snow until Saturday. It makes work difficult. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's nasty over there on the Front Range, brother. I know it is. All right. Hey, Jaded Empath, the beautiful, lovely, salty and sweet Jaded Empath in the house. She's jaded, but she's empathetic. I always love your sentiments, Joy. All right. Georgia Jakes, welcome in, Georgia. I have mine all the way up and having trouble. Oh yeah, I didn't have the mic close enough. My bad. Why haven't these guys been put in jail for lying under oath? Yeah, exactly. Entire case is built on lies. Yes, it does appear to do so. That's what I was referring to yesterday when I said, no matter which way, no matter which place you start, which angle you view it from, the entire case just seems like it's complete bullshit, built on lies, and you always come to the same conclusion that everyone has lied from day one. Hopester, welcome in. I just watched some of Snay. Dude, a creepy, weird guy. It's just games laughing. Dude's just gross. Yeah, exactly. I think that Freckle Joy would agree with you. It's all a fucking game. It's all a joke to him. He slanders, harasses, doxes, threatens, shames, humiliates, embarrasses, um, and has pretty much uh, destroyed any chance of justice for the poor victims of the Delphi murders, Abby and Libby. And he thinks it's a total fucking joke. And I guarantee you, he's going to perjure himself in court on March 18th. Okay, Georgia Jake says, question: Should we? Question should be: Why would Holman not want to be a hero in solving this case? Because he's covering for the murderers, allegedly. Instead, he chose to spread lies and push a narrative pointing away from two prime suspects and others, most likely. Yeah. Are the Masonic brothers covering each other's asses in this case? We know that Brad Holder is a master mason. Nicholas McClellan is a master mason. Is Jerry Holman a master mason? Okay. It's a God thing. Prof, have you had time to look up the police scanner transcript to see the "Are you guys down over the hill" written? Yet no recording. Nope. Defense gave prosecution RA's medical records from Westfield. Wasn't Holman involved in someone else's life being ripped all to hell over shooting firecrackers in his barn during a paintball fight? And he later mysteriously died. Jesse Snyder, yep. I can't remember the guy's name. Yeah, you're speaking of poor Jesse Snyder, rest in peace. Gambia is welcome on in. Well, that's very interesting. You have changed your avatar. Welcome on in, and hello everyone trying to clean while I listen. Well, welcome and we're glad to have you. All right. They ain't scared. They know he was threatened into confessing. Yes, he was. His mental status before and since shows the anomaly while under the care of those guards who admitted to patches and Odinism. Exactly. Isn't that fucking obvious to everyone? I see a lot of red flags of actually changed descriptions to fit their narrative. Absolutely. Welcome, Bobby Smith, and welcome, Marcel, longtime viewer, regular. Marcel, thanks for coming in again. You'd be interested. Aaron Town says the defense obviously knows the owners of the phones, but are making a point of the prosecution not handing over that information. Yes, we need to know the owners of the phones. Whose phones are those? R&M has a great video. All of their stuff is. Yes, but I don't agree that Ron Logan killed the girls. But that's about the only place I disagree with them. That's it. His story really bothered and upset me. Oh, their video on Jesse Snyder made you sad? Yes, it's horrible. It is horrible. I hereby pronounce French 6290s tonight's lurking. Well, that's a good one, Aaron. I hadn't heard that one yet. See, you teach me something every time. I hope people see how honest the prof has been the entire time he's been on YouTube. Well, thank you. And I stepped away from the dishonest ones, like Ruckus Rocks, the moment I sensed deception. And this whole crew I've been trying to point to you towards. YouTube needs more ethical content creators like him and a couple others, and yourself. Ellen West, yes, YWRNM made a video. I think it's called A Reckoning Carroll County. Yes, exactly. And it's about Jesse Snyder. Yes, rest in peace. Freckle Joy says, "Oh my God, today has been an absolute nightmare at work. All of this going on. It's been a day." Well, I hope you get some good rest tonight, Freckle. All right. How much more have I missed? How much have I missed? Not too much, Lisa. We read through a document. All right. This case is overwhelming. Yes, it is. There's no way a normal brain can take all this in. I mean, you really have to have an extremely large and open mind to be able to retain all of this complexity. Hit the like. What up, Four Pits? Four Pits coming into the building. I really appreciate him coming in. We love Four Pits here. I'm sure Slick Nick, has all of RA's medical records and is just pissed he's not able to use them. All right, guys. Yeah, please hit the like. Y'all smash that like. And look, not only that, subscribe to the backup channel. It's called The Prof True Crime. Please go subscribe to that damn backup channel. I'm just moments away from 500 subs, and that's our goal this month, to hit that 500 subs, and I'm so excited we're almost there. Criminality went long and hard. Well, that's all she does, goes extremely long. All right, Marcel. Hey, Diamond Eyes. Diamond Eyes. Diamond Eyes is like, she's like my number one. Okay, Diamond Eyes is a super mod. Super mod. She's everywhere, helping out all the time, and Diamond, I just want you to know I really appreciate you all the time. You do so much. Okay. K West, what up, bud? K West in the house. Man, I'm so glad you're not sick. I was afraid. Last week when we were looking for you, everyone got scared, and I'm so glad that you're okay, K West. We all got scared that you disappeared for a few days. Can't do that to us, dude. Okay. Oh, really, Diamond? 12 more. Okay, you guys, come on. Come on. I need 12 more. Everyone in the Lurker crew, go subscribe to Prof True Crime. Get me my 12 more subs and get me to 500. That's our goal for this month, and I'll be so excited. All right. Criminality says she's my number one. Well, you both are. Criminality is my advisor, and Diamond Eyes is my super mod. So let's put it that way. 12 or more. I can't believe it. Lee Cardell, welcome in. There he is. Now, Lee Cardell is a real good buddy of mine. I just love every time he's come around. Lee Cardell's been around here since day one. Just getting into the live, man. I've been absent for a while because of health. Well, I'm glad you're doing better, brother. Now doing better and be more around. Well, hey, it's the time to be around because shit is happening. We can't even keep up, like, the pace of it every day, just more and more and more and more and more and more and more. Okay. Hey, Radar's in the house. Welcome in, Radar. Radar's another beautiful friend of mine. Radar is a local and a sweet, awesome girl. And thanks for coming in, Radar. Sweet dude Shibby, long time no talk. Yeah, didn't I see you like, what, 30 minutes ago or 3 hours, something like that? Sweet dude Shibby been lurking my channel the past few weeks. All right. Yeah, where you been, K West? We miss you. Kayla, hey, welcome, Kayla. Have you ever noticed Holman's hand signs? He's in the club. Yeah, I have noticed that fucking hand signs. And welcome in, Kayla. Kayla's another long time member. Thanks for coming in, Kayla. All right, Radar. There she is. Diamond Eyes and Radar. Where the heck have you two been? I don't know. They've been doing their thing, and all of a sudden they show up. All right. The Unraveling. Hey, sweetie, you are late. Always late. But I got to give it. Everyone here, please give a round of applause in the chat to the Unraveling, because they help me out so much. Okay. We really are a team here in the YouTubers, and I just personally want to thank the Unraveling for always helping out so much in the ways we need. Okay, Michelle, Subscribed and subscribed. Thank you so much, Michelle. Wow, you're getting us to our goal of 500. Thank you so much. Lambert Cole back in the house. Lambert Cole's here every damn day. Welcome, Lambert Cole. You're gonna put me on 2 times to catch up. Oh, it's no big deal. We just read through the third Frank, so just stick with us now. Okay, Nancy H says, I've subscribed to you, Prof. Rafi turned me on to you. Well, thank you, because we love Rafi here. Unlike everyone else, we don't bash Rafi because Rafi's been the most onto this truth from day one, and that's why we stand with Rafi. Okay. All right. Digital re-roofing and rewiring my home. Been extremely busy. Glad I made one. Wow. That's wonderful for you, K West. Rebecca Ann back in the house. Hey, you know we love you, Rebecca. Thanks for coming in. Wow, you guys are something else. Megan Z's back in the house. Look at you, Megan. Megan's also a regular, okay? And Meow Meow is a new viewer. But thanks for coming back, Meow. Girls are everyone's coming into the channel. Like we've already pretty much wrapped up the reading, so you missed the reading, but no big deal because now we're going to get into the exciting. We're going into the juicy part, okay? The juicy part is our addendum part 2, colluding YouTubers. So with that, we're going to do some social media commentary review, and you guys are going to find it as the most funny, extremely hilarious comedic relief. So you guys get ready to hold on to your. You guys get ready. Your stomach's going to hurt in about 5 minutes. We're getting into the funny shit. Thanks, Prof. Yeah, you've been around. Yeah. Well, Lee Cardell, you know we love you, bro. Okay. All you guys in here. Tree Hugger 496 says 498. Well, what are the odds of that? Just sub. Well, thank you. Hey, you know what? I think we're getting to 500 tonight, guys. I'm going to throw a party because just yesterday we got to 2,000 here on this channel. And maybe tonight we'll get to 500 on the backup. So, man, it's time for a party, isn't it? Here they all come. Yeah, everyone's coming on over. Where are you guys at? You guys at a Teresa's and just making it over? Party at Pref. No, tomorrow's a Friday night party. Tomorrow's our big party. But tonight we're just going to do a little comedic relief. You guys are going to love it. Yeah, you're going to laugh your guts out. Yeah, everyone hit the like and just, hey, enjoy yourselves. We're about to read some Facebook posts. Stop it, stop it, stop it. I see you. Yay, the unraveling. I got to tell you, these girls here, Angie's my new bestie, and she just does, I've never seen someone work as hard, you know, other than myself. And Aaron Town. Frank around and find out. Oh, you guys are awesome. I'm coming up with, you guys are giving me all the new, all kind of new little catchphrases. And you know what we forgot? We haven't done in the longest. Can we do it tonight, please? Can we do a shack attack? Remember, we did recently, we recently did find the shack attack filed by the defense. So let's have an actual shack attack right now. We haven't done that in like a month. Shack attack. Cody, Derek, Shaq. That's the Shack attack, baby. Yeah, I got my own catchphrase here. Shack attack. All right, Rafi. Rafi makes me laugh too. Yeah. Name to your secondary channel. It's the Prof True Crime. The Prof True Crime. All right. Frank around and find out. Well, that's what's going on, right? Rafi got the shit on everyone. Yeah, Rafi's got it. He was the first channel to teach me anything about the white supremacist group in Indiana, and he's dead. He's hitting it, the nail on the head. That's the thing about it too. He also hit the nail on the head about a whole lot of other shit that's not even in the court system yet. Michelle, welcome in, Michelle. What I missed? Nothing, because we're getting into the fun. We're getting into the fun now. All right. Yeah, please get those likes up. Camo County. Okay, Camo County. There you are. Camo County's a new viewer. He's been lurking around the past month. Welcome in to the chat again, Camo County. Everyone thanks for joining the chat who's coming on in. Drip Snay literally rehashed all Rafi's work on the order. Absolutely no shame. No. Snay has no shame. Okay, Lila Dicata, are you feeling better today? I am feeling a little better. You know, I am. Megan Z said, got your photos today, Prof. They're beautiful, eerie, and captured it very well. Oh, thank you so much, Megan. Speaking of that, let me drop the link. Everyone, for real, I have been a photographer for about 15 years, and typically I had always done model photography, and then after that I got into lunar photography, and then I really have been so busy with raising my young one that I had kind of taken a break. But when I went out to Delphi, I did do a lot of photography, both with the drone and with the 35 millimeter uh, digital. So, or is that called a DSLR or whatever it's called? But here's the link to my photography. If you're interested in photography, I have photography. It's reasonably priced for beautiful prints. Like you can get it on canvas, on metal, on wood. There are there are 1,000 ways, right? 1,000 ways to to have that photography printed. But I just wanted you guys to know that. Okay, let's see. Can't laugh anymore. Are you about to laugh? Okay. Yeah, it was the shack attack, baby. It was a shack attack. Remember, my allegation is that the three things that the Patties don't want us to discuss are Cody, Derek, and the shack, and we're about to find out about all of it, allegedly. Okay. Big Mike's 2 a.m. boat ride on Deer Creek to the shack, or from the shack to Ron Logan's. Okay. Fig saves the best for his grand finale. Yes, he's Fig dissolves. Fig dissolves. Where is Fig solves? Why remove the channel for now? I mean, you're hiding something because you didn't take it down for law enforcement, because taking down the channel, people can still go delete their comments. So I think that excuse is BS. So, okay, Fig's posting a community page are ridiculous. Well, it's everything Fig. The Prof Art Collection, looking lit. Yeah, thank you. It is lit. And I have more coming. I'm working right now. I'm working on the black and whites. So if you're into the black and whites, give me another week or so, and there will be black and whites up there if that's what you want. Pardon me. They need to pretend to be scary enough to keep people out of the place. Oh, ooh, sorry about that text message. Okay. Let's see what this is. It must be important. Okay. All right, so let's see. Freckle Joy. Oh, I was mad at him for going at the time, so the trolls are a joke. Is his channel down? He privatized the channel so no one can go and look at his bad behavior. He can't handle the tags. That's what it was. It is a tags. Yeah, that's perceptive. That's perceptive. Thank you. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. I hadn't even thought of that. Okay, now hold on a minute. It's time to get into our social media colluding YouTuber gaslight special. So you guys get ready. We're gonna do it. This right here, okay, is going to be some Facebook. Okay. All right, so here we go. Let's get in the face. Oh, before I start, okay, let me put it this way. There's two elements here. First, there is one serious post I want to read to you guys. Okay, before we get to the funny shit, we're gonna do one serious post that I found that I thought was extremely poignant, and then we're gonna go into all the funny shit. So here's a serious post, and we'll get this out of the way. Okay, because I can't handle any more serious, but I'll read it for you. Here we go. I'm not going to name the poster because even though she publicly posted this, I just figure, hey, let me just give her privacy and read it to you guys, because it doesn't matter who she is. It's the ideation that matters. So here we go. So here's what she says. She says, the dark web makes up about 90% of the internet itself. The origin of the internet is American. The CIA has full access to the internet, including the dark web. It's literally their job, Central Intelligence. This case is global, according to Carter, and social media was the ticket. And remember, the prophets told you from day one that this is a social media case, okay? Libby's Snapchat friends list shrank on the 14th. Many names were unfriended from her account on the previous day. We also know Libby was on Snapchat that day. But was she on Snapchat when she started recording? Everyone in the beginning directly lied about a social media connection. This case made it to the desk of the head of the FBI, James Comey, twice in 2 months. Why? Why wasn't there a response for the first time? What about the second time? And ultimately, the FBI was removed from the case. What the hell? This is extremely confusing because the FBI could literally take over the case if they wanted to. It fits the criteria for a federal investigation, crimes against children or cyber crimes. Obviously, they are still scanning the internet regarding Delphi. Just ask Fig or Greeno. There were many details released in the beginning by the locals. It was all over social media. Everywhere you looked, there was info. But now there's nothing, not even the comment sections. Nothing from 2017 or 2018. It's all been scrubbed. The dolls were a big thing, and I cannot find one story or one comment about dolls. This is an extreme amount of content to be scrubbed. But how did they know of every comment or every story in order to delete it? Was it those 70,000 plus tips that pointed the way? Here we are over 7 years later and still nothing from local, state, and government officials. I would say that I needed a break and a good night's sleep, but reality proves different because here I am typing my thoughts once again. Why does this case have such a hold on me when I don't even live in Indiana or know anyone from Indiana? I pray this trial happens on May 13th, but even then, it won't be over. Godspeed. Okay? And that right there, I could not agree with more. Okay? The only thing I would add is, where's the FBI now? Where's the FBI now? And like I said to you, just wait. The FBI will be taking over this case momentarily. You can mark my words. Anyway, that was a highlight of seriousness from the Facebooks today, and I'll leave it at that. And now we're going to get into a little of the juicy bits, okay? We're going to get a little into the juicy bits. So what I'm going to do is just read randomly some juicy bits from the Facebooks. I highly recommend everyone who is in for a good laugh to go join every single Facebook group on Delphi because it's always nothing but laughs, okay? So let's start with this one, okay? This one. And again, I'm not going to quote the posters here because, you know, it's Facebook. If you want, you can go join all the Delphi groups and you'll see who made these posts. But it's primarily, it's the content that counts, not the posters, right? So this one says, the internet investigators are now eating each other. We all know that Rick Snay is a prolific liar, so I tend to believe K. People need to leave these cases to law enforcement they love to disparage, okay? Rick Snay getting more people in trouble because they associate with him or his channel on Facebook. This man is dangerous, okay? All right, and you may remember that K. Smith and Rick Snay are named in the document I read to you yesterday. Okay, so here we go. So this is K. Smith. K. Smith says, after seeing the new filing in which my name was mentioned, I feel strongly that I need to set the record straight. I'm seeing the false information already being posted, so I chose not to ignore it. Many people have already messaged me showing support. I want to thank all of you for that. I was beyond upset, but also furious about the false insinuation. I don't appreciate being named in a document where I am being falsely accused or even insinuated as being involved. The statement reads, as the officer was told in an interview, that someone had told him that they had heard that others had received pics from Mark Robert and myself. I want to stress that this statement is a total lie. I never shared those sensitive crime scene pics. I've never asked anyone to send them to me. I have never received them from anyone. So therefore, I have never sent them to anyone. I have never seen them, nor would I ever want to see them. Mark Robert sent me those pics. He knows that. Mark Robert never sent me those pics. He knows that. I'm sure he will be honest enough to verify that he didn't. No one else that is mentioned in this filing sent me those pictures. Absolutely no one at all has ever offered to share them with me or ever sent me those pics. I don't even use my email with strangers or anyone on Facebook. In fact, I barely use email at all. It should be easy to verify that I didn't send pics to anyone. I do engage with other members through Messenger and Facebook groups, but never was there an exchange of these pics through Messenger or by text or by any other means. I learned about the leaked pics of the girls at the same time that most everyone else had learned. It was upsetting to me that this has happened. I have total respect for Libby and Abby and their loved ones. I would never interfere in this case by doing this, and I always felt sad that this leak happened. I absolutely want to know the names of the people claiming that I sent them to them. I feel I deserve to know who is lying. After hearing this false information, I immediately went right to the source mentioned in that filing. I messaged Rick Snay. His name is the one mentioned as being the one who told Holman that he had heard from other people that Mark Robert and I had sent the pics to others. Rick Snay said this is absolutely not true. He never told Holman that. He never even mentioned my name. He doesn't think that they even spoke about anyone else having the pics except that one person that gave him permission to share their name. Rick gave me his permission to share that I had reached out to him to ask for an explanation. He completely denied telling Holman that he had heard that I had shared these crime scene pics of the girls with others. I see that the phone interviews were recorded, so there will be verification of who falsely insinuated me into this mess. I'm confused and terribly hurt as to why anyone would blatantly lie about something this serious. I plan to find out the origin of this lie. In my opinion, this is slander. Sadly, I now understand the true feeling of being falsely accused or even falsely insinuated through hearsay in something that I absolutely did not do. It's beyond scary. Okay? And then she posts some screenshots of her conversation with Rick. Okay? I'm not going to read those screenshots, but I got to admit, after reading that, I sort of believe Ms. K. Smith. So the real question is someone lying on K. Smith and putting her in this? If so, who is it? Is it Rick Snay? Well, Rick Snay. Now, who'd you lie on? Did you lie on Kyra De Bruin? Did you lie on K. Smith? When you go to court on the 18th, are you going to lie or are you going to tell the truth? Have you ever told the truth? Have you always lied? Have you told the truth yet? Okay. I got to admit, though, just based on the verbiage there, I believe her. There's a commenter that says, Rick Snay's getting more people in trouble because they associate with him or his channel. This man is dangerous. A commenter replies, he is an unhinged, mentally unstable man who is verbally abusive and tries to threaten or intimidate people. For all we know, he is the guy throwing out names. I actually have a suspicion that he is lying about others who may try to dispel his falsehoods and his stupid theories. He wants to silence them by naming them as leakers, when in fact he is the main leaker and working directly with the defense. I've noticed a trend that people who are inclined to think Rick Allen is most likely guilty are all being named on court documents, which is odd because we know with certainty that Westerman was the source of the leak. He was sharing with people who wanted to profess the defense's case, not the other way around. So why are people being named who are, for lack of a better term, pro-prosecution or pro-guilty? Because they were involved in the leaks, dumbass. Well, a very reasonable explanation is that Snee, Cohen, and others are actually in communication with the defense, and they want to silence anyone who doesn't buy their Odin theory cards. Well, bullshit. Bullshit. Obviously, this guy did not read what we read yesterday. It's just hilarious, but okay. Someone else says, I'd say Snake was behind it, but when reading this document, nothing seems correct. Misspelled names, incorrect information, things they were saying that nobody should have known unless it came from the state, or things they had in their Frank's motion. Also, how did Snake know about the filing before it was filed? Good question. Okay. Rick Snee is a very disturbed man, says another commentator. Anyone who gets involved with him is going to pay the price with his lies. His favorite fan, Kyra De Bruin, decides to send pictures of Libby and Abby over the internet, and Rick protects Kyra and throws Kay Smith under the bus. Kay doesn't have the pictures. Rick betrayed another person. Okay. Here's a quote from the murder sheet. Now, this one's funny. This one's funny here. The prosecution has no obligation to send discovery for everything investigated in a major case if it went nowhere. The possibility that the defense may go after the family, since most of the defense contempt hearing witnesses are family-hating conspiracy theorists. Perhaps the judge and prosecution should recuse themselves for the contempt hearing. Pro-defense YouTube creators getting supplied the defense filings before they hit the court docket. No, they had already hit, ma'am. Mr. Snee has offered several versions of how he obtained the photo. Oh, yes, he did. Oh, okay, let's see what's going on. Okay. All right, so let's see. I got some more here. This is. I apologize. I'm getting a little disturbed. I mean, distracted. All right. There's so many highlights. It's every Facebook group has its highlights today. You know. Oh, there we go. The one thing I've learned from paying attention to this case from the very beginning is that Indiana has an extremely serious meth problem. I've never even heard of a pile of characters bunched into one region like this case has exposed. And in reply, yeah, it's pretty methed up. Overabundance of sex offenders also. I don't know about Cary County itself, but the surrounding areas are notorious. Inbreeding runs rampant, says another. With breeds of animals, a breed standard is secured by the culling of the disaster offspring of inbred, line-bred programs with humans. They just keep reproducing. Rob Drew says, sounds like you know all about it. And in a reply, I have unfortunately had dealings with several families in this area that chose to date within their family tree. Cannot stop humans from reproducing or cull them. Same with the mentally ill and sex offenses, and other crimes run rampant with many of them. Another user says, I am from there and have lived there my whole life. I'm not sure what dealings you've had with people in Delphi or what circle you run in, but your claims of inbreeding, mental illness, and sex offenders sounds like you're describing Lafayette. Have you watched your local news? There are good people and bad people in every community, but to describe a whole community and generalize them the same is offensive and despicable, says local. Says a lot about your character, says a local. Birds of a feather flock together, says a local. I'd pick some new acquaintances, says a local. Here we go. I am from Lafayette, Delphi, and the surrounding areas are so close, and that's true. That many intermingle, and I do not believe any of the suspected killers in this case are even local to Delphi. No, nor did I even insinuate that they were, nor did I say where the people I mentioned or groups of people I mentioned were from. If you would like to know, I was speaking about a lot of parts of Indiana. I have some professional friends and farming friends in Carroll County, that are not inbred or mental. And they are also not child molesters or sex offenders or doing crazy crimes. And I'm not referring to them in that way. Only someone wanting to be snarky like you reply to me would twist what I said into a personal attack to themselves. Sounds like guilty. And also because I know of inbred families and mentally ill families does not mean that they are people I run with or friends or acquaintances. Then in reply, well, I guess you shouldn't have described it in such a broad statement. Someone mentioned meth in a region, and you took it upon yourself to comment on this area using a descriptions with adjectives like several and rampant. I didn't mention your other. You didn't mention your other friends, the ones not like what you described. I didn't twist anything, but nice try at backpedaling. I bet your professional friends and farming friends from Carroll County appreciate you describing their community in this way to get attention. My guess is there are communities everywhere all over the U.S. with these inbred families and mental illness. So what was your point? Well, I beg to differ. You got meth, murder, and arson running rampant in Carroll County. And that's a goddamn fact. We've done the statistics. Also, do you know that number one cause of death in the African American community in Carroll County is arson? Is murder, homicide? Yes, homicide. Homicide. Why is homicide number one cause of death in the black community in this region of Indiana? Okay. Let's jump into another group. I told you all the groups are lit this past couple days. Um, got a couple more here I pulled up for you. Let me find them. All right, let's pull this up. Let's see. Where did I put it? Okay. We got some comments on Miss Kyra DeBruin. Are you guys ready for some commentary on Miss Kyra DeBruin by some Facebookers? Here we go. She's horrible. She's the reason I just left that other group. Someone else says, yeah, what a liar and a player. Reply, I don't know why Al supports her. You know which Al they're talking about. She was removed immediately. Total betrayal. Not in Al's group. She's gone. Well, good for him. Someone else says, I believe Kyra is from Logansport, like Rick. They may know each other. Probably do. It's probably why she's a Kool-Aid drinker of the Rick Snay farm. Uh, if she sent pics to someone that she made a mistake, well, absolutely. My advice to anyone who has the pics is to not admit it. Well, dude, come on. Are you kidding me? Don't talk about them, and most importantly, don't share them. Well, I would agree with that. Someone else says, I believe she lives in Kentucky. Reply, I think she grew up in Logansport. I am from there, and I knew the Haydens, but I didn't know her. Interesting. I've noticed a few people who live in that region are incredibly abrasive and pro Richard Allen. One of them tried to get me on this past weekend on this page and blocked me after I called him out. For some reason, a lot of folks in that area act like children. Well, that's interesting you mentioned that, because what we've noticed is the entire troll farm, just about most of them tend to be based in Peru. So it's kind of an interesting comment there. We've noticed the inbreeding. We've had locals tell us about the inbreeding. We've noticed the meth epidemic in the region. We've had locals tell us about the meth epidemic. We've noticed the extreme, irrational, childish behavior from these local troll farm who are primarily centered around Peru. Okay. Now, what's this? So here we go. I want to give you a little. I'm kind of tired of reading those. There's a couple more, but I highly recommend you go dip into the Facebook groups. Just join the groups just for entertainment purposes only. That's what I do. I never comment whatsoever. I just watch and laugh. But I just changed my mind. I want to read a couple back and forths with this case K. Okay, I want to read some back and forths with Kay and Rick because this is hilarious in my opinion. Okay. So Kay says to Rick, I want to know who told you I sent them pics. Rick says, Kay says, I don't even use my email with anyone on Facebook. They're liars. You owe me that, please. I will confront the liars. Snay says, I didn't say anyone sent you pictures. I'm furious. Snay says, so am I. Kay says, I'm disappointed that you would say that without asking me first if it was a lie. Snay says, I promise you, I did not say that. I mentioned one name to Holman, Kyra, and she gave me permission. Believe me, I'm going to find out what's going on. I only have the best interest for the girls. This is very hurtful. I would never send out pics. I never want to see them. So, I don't know, Kay. I know this, Kay. Kay, you fucked with me for a year. You've given me hell. You've lied, slandered, harassed, doxed, trolled. Kay, every place you've been a mod, you've deleted me the minute I jump into the chat. All I have to do is jump in the chat and say, hey, everyone, and boom, Kay deletes me. Rick Snay harasses me multiple times a day, every day. He comes onto my channel, he blah, 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 blah. Today, his whole deal was he's still stuck on alleging that I never traveled to Indiana, even though I'm selling photography that I obviously own the copyright to, that I took with my own camera. My camera is right here. Okay, this camera right here, this very camera right here. This camera took the photography. Oh, no. He's alleging I'm selling my photography that I personally took and own the copyright to, and I'm earning profits from. I posted multiple videos of drone footage that I took with my own drone. Okay, my own drone that's just sitting there that I own. Okay, I'm extremely good, capable drone pilot because I practiced for 6 months before that November trip. I flew my drone all around this town. I've never shown you my drone footage from my town because the insane criminal cyber stalkers who threaten my life and my kids' life, I don't want to show them my neighborhood or my street or my town. So all the amazing footage I have around my property as I was learning to fly the drone, I just can't even share with you guys. Okay, I have to hide that from the public. But no, Ruckus Rocks and stupid ass Rick Snay, they are still alleging that I never went to Delphi. However, I have photos of my little 4-year-old on the High Bridge. I have photos of my little 4-year-old down at Wilson Bridge. I have photos of myself standing next to the Buffalo or whatever the fuck it is at the entrance to Freedom Bridge. I have photos at the Freedom Monument in the center of Indianapolis. I did multiple videos of my photography and videography of the Freedom Monument. It just shows you the level of intelligence you're dealing with here and the maturity that I could do all of that. And they will still continue to push the narrative that I never went to Indiana. It's hilarious. I have receipts for my fuel expenditures, fueling my vehicle to travel to and from. And no. Do you think I need to post those receipts online? Come on, guys. I posted the photography. I shouldn't have to post my receipts to convince an idiot like Rick Snay or Ruckus Rocks that I traveled to Indiana. But they know I traveled to Indiana. That's the funny thing, because I was stalked on the High Bridge, and I have proof that I was stalked on the High Bridge, and I know who stalked me on the High Bridge, and it is documented and reported to Doug Carter himself. So if you stalked me in Delphi, you physically stalked me, you would know and your friends would know that I had to be in Delphi, Indiana for you to stalk me in Delphi, Indiana. So it's just the most insane thing you've ever heard of in my life. But they're crazy. They're absolutely crazy. And yeah, so I posted that on a community page today that he's still coming in and questioning whether I traveled to Indiana or not. And it's a 40-hour drive. I mean, give me some credit. Give me some credit here. All right, now let me check out the chat. I'm done with my rant. That was my rant. All right, so let's see. I'm going to catch up with the chat and then we'll get out of here. All right, guys, we'll get out of here. Let's check up with this chat wherever I left off. Almost caught up. Let's see, where was I? Oh, here we go. Okay, catching up. Tree hugger, I agree with this sentiment here. I live for the day all the YouTubes covering for the killers get busted. Yeah, and I hope they go to jail. I hope there's some consequence. I mean, cyber stalking and cyber crimes are a federal crime. I do not know if they know that or not. I begrudgingly watched Proof Regurgitation live stream earlier. I'm so sorry. They're still fighting it. Let it go. Slip into the darkness. Yeah, they're the gaslighters. But remember, they work for the family. Big solves. Oh my God, I'm tired. Sleuth Indigestion himself sent the troll farm after me. The moment I mentioned suspicions of the family not being completely honest, he sent the troll farm after me immediately. So that's why I always go back and I admonish him. Okay, Fig half-witted putter. Fuck that. Sorry, I have to share sometimes. Got to run errands. Ooh, I'll be listening mode. Okay. Oh my gosh, Fig took his YouTube down. Well, yeah, he's hiding it. Frank Meister is complaining that deposition not read by Fatso Hennessy for 10 days, according to Frank's. Bull never did read the first Frank's. She announced it to, yeah, she said she didn't even pay attention to Frank's, which was incredible. Pardon me. All right. Hennessy's going to swat Nick around like a Rottweiler with a mouthy chihuahua. Oh, yeah. I'd like to see. See, here's the thing, Snay. When you get on that witness stand, Mr. Snay, you don't understand. There's two sides to this. Okay, so these lies you are used to telling on your disgusting platform that usually get away with it because you got your Kool-Aid drinkers who just swallow up everything you say. They eat it up. You're not going to be able to get away with the outright lies in court because there will be two sides asking you questions, allegedly. I fully believe they planted false stories. Yes, they did. That's called that. They've used social media since day one. What about the big plush animals or bear left at the scene? Well, there's something that appears to be like that in some photography. Okay. He said I can call them that because he is. Well, we can call you a stupid drunk, Shane. All right. Hey, Louise Cuevas coming in. Welcome in, Louise. In my opinion, the FBI and the other three-letter agencies are ready to pounce, laughing their asses off over Slick Nick incriminating themselves. Yeah, that's when you perform a sting. Here's how you do it. You let them commit the crimes first. That's the way it must be done. Then you pounce. And I'm telling you now, the FBI is going to pounce. Do you really think there's no Freemasons in the FBI? Of course there are. I don't trust anything when the Freemasons are involved. Neither do I, sir. Sleep no more. Welcome in. Digital. I need the freaking index for real names with fake names, then the initials. Oh, we're putting that together for you now. Actually, odd that you mentioned that. Funny that you mentioned that, Megan Z. Funny that you mentioned that. We are putting that together now. Bet he never published that he had crime scene photos right either, right, Snake? Oh, that's what he's going to say, yeah. Well, remember this. What happened to the anonymous email? Okay, so Snake alleged for the longest. An anonymous email. Ooh, sent me an anonymous email. And what was it really? Kyra de Bruin? So you lied to protect Kyra all this time? Deb's True Crime Notebook. Who did you lie to protect? Karen White? What about the obituary? Okay. What about the obituary, Deb? Have you been lying to protect Karen White the whole time over the obituary? We know that Snay was lying the whole time to protect Kyra de Bruin. Okay, they've been lying the whole time. The whole group has been lying the whole time. Some of these creators, y'all know who, are losing their minds. They are sweeping the bottom of the barrel, trying to discredit proven facts. And no, I don't feel sorry for them liars. No, I don't either. They deserve everything they're get. Is there a K I've seen in chats with the rose? Oh, is that the K? We're assuming that's the K. There's only one fucking K, and she's insane, and that's her. Okay. Georgia, going down with the ship without a life jacket. Oh, the rats are all jumping ship, and they're eating each other. Jerry's deposition beans are yummy. Thanks, Jerry Holman, for telling the truth on yourself. Okay, I'm so confused, Diamond. Did you say the K with the rose avatar is K Smith? Snake working with the defense. Are we in upside down world? Yeah. What the fuck is going on here? Weatherman and Hennessy are going to make Snay take the fall to create reasonable doubt for Westerman, and Snay is going to walk right into it. Snay thinks his bullshit lie is. He thinks he's smart enough because he's Menza to get away with lying in court. He's going to be fucked. Okay. Hi, everyone. Okay. Okay. Prof, Snay isn't the hero. He told the truth at the end that it. What? No one thinks Snay is a hero. I mean, come on, Louise. Are you crazy or something? What are you saying? Rephrase that. Snay is not a hero. Of course not. He was a pawn and manipulated. No, not really. That's what they wanted us to believe. Okay, what he does when someone comes up with a good idea, he runs with it. I don't think he was a pawn either. That's another gaslight. Pretty messed up. Oh yeah, the all of Indiana. I mean, unfortunately. I heard today that little Frank lived in a mental institution. Yes, he was, rather than working there. I wonder if there's any truth. Yeah, he was in a home, but when he got paid, he got out of the home. Okay, it's just been the same 10 families there for 200 years. Please explain to me how there's no inbreeding. I just remember the K that does talk about Ron Logan often showed up in some screenshots Prof posted. Yeah, because she's a fucking maniac. She seemed like a different person, but same name, same avatar. I just found it pretty interesting. Only some friends implied the rest were. Okay. Oh, my dog. The gymnastics of some people's thinkings. Susie says, Louise, you're kidding, right? Snake certainly thinks for himself. To say he's been manipulated is a cop out. Yeah, that's what I'm starting to get at. He kind of went with that for a while. I was used. No, brother, you weren't used. Bullshit. It's just like the thing with the airdrop. Okay, because we have the text messages of Julie saying about the airdrop. Okay, so Julie was confronting Snay about the airdrop, and that revealed it. Snay didn't even know about. Snay came up with the whole airdrop scenario because Julie mentioned it to him. Okay, but Snay actually emailed Julie the crime scene photos, and Julie proved it to us. Prof is the hero here. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Okay, Big, you should jump in the middle of the courtroom, whip out your wiener. Wait, what? Did you already do that? What the hell? Sweet duty shibby, don't put that into my mind. I don't want to visualize that. Gray has 12 mock-ups of the crime flow map, and each timeline based on a different scenario of the family story. Yeah, and he helped them put it together. Inbreeding is a real problem in Indiana, Carroll County. It's exacerbated in dogs because of shorter reproductive life cycle. Anytime a breed becomes popular, it's a detriment to the breed. Cocker cuckoos, golden lymphoma, and Delphi pedophiles. Okay, you guys are hilarious. Mike Cunningham, welcome, sir. We always love having you in the channel, Mike. Thanks for coming back. Welcome in, Mike. Mikey in the house, you guys. Keep telling people they need to get their damn Delphi water tested. Kay gives lots of super chats to the troll farm. No. She gives troll super chats to the troll farm. That's what she does. She throws around that money to Rixnay and Little Frankie and all the trolls. Criminally focused. It was covered with a fig leaf. Oh my God. So we got small balls and small figs. Okay, coming from a small town guy from Indiana, meth was so big from 89 to 98 in Indiana, then it became smaller and controlled ring with LE until 2013. Then it slacked off and only if big LEO is involved. Fact. Yeah, because you know what they were doing. They were smurfing. Here's how it works, okay? You got your cooks, you got your smurfs. This is where I think Richard Allen comes into play. I think Richard Allen was smurfing out the pseudoephedrine to the kids around the neighborhood. And we know that they all did it, okay? Yeah, Jinx 13 and possibly Kelsey and all the others, okay? These young girls, this is what they did. They'd run around the circuit to all the CVS's, Walgreens, and all the other things. They go in there to grab a bunch of pseudoephedrine from all the people, okay? Then they bring it back and they trade that. They give the pseudoephedrine that they have smurfed in trade for the end product, which is the meth that was cooked by people like Kathy Clendenning and such, and Derek German. Okay, I mean, are we going to talk real, or are we going to keep talking fantasy world like we're a blind monkey to this shit? Okay, Kathy Clendenning, Derek German, and a bunch of others, meth cooks. Okay, and you got people that are the little girls that are the Smurfs, and they go around, they get the pseudoephedrine, they bring it to the cooks. The cooks produced meth and they trade out, and that's how it works, and that's how the game works. The thing is, up until about 2013 to 2015, the pseudoephedrine was not controlled whatsoever. Okay, when the controls started to come into play, started to come into place in these vicinities or in these pharmacies, the problem that surfaced that was found was that CVS, of all of the pharmacies nationwide, CVS was the number one most lax and most in violation of the controls that were put into place to control the smurfing out of pseudoephedrine. And that is an actual factual. You can go and you type in CVS and pseudoephedrine, okay? And what you will discover is in multiple states, CVS faced multi-million-dollar lawsuits because of their failure to actually follow through with the controls that had been set in place to stop the flow of pseudoephedrine out of their stores and into the hands of these Smurfs, who would then hand them off to the meth cooks, okay? CVS was the number one violator of this. Where did Richard Allen work? Okay. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. Okay. Let's keep up with the chat. Prof was in India. I mean, I got fucking sick in India. You want to know what happened? I got poisonous water in the house I was staying in downtown Indy, and I've been sick ever since. And that's why I'm still sick, because the antibiotics ain't doing it. Okay. All right. Let's catch up with the chat. Georgia Jake says he's certifiable cray cray. Seriously, in my opinion, I've never seen such nonsense narcissism in a public figure relying on the public for his living. Yeah, well, that's why he makes his wife works two or three jobs, because YouTube is not a living. I mean, dude, and the best fucking month I'll have, it'll be $200, $300. You know, and that's when, like, I'm doing shows every night, and you know, it's like there's no money in YouTube hardly at all. So the fact that that's his sole level of income, he makes his wife work at additional jobs. Yeah, there's a lot of cray cray. You know, he's cray cray, and the thing is, he's a politician. That guy right there is a politician. He should have stuck with politics. He'd be actually kind of okay at it. Okay. Ruckus said the sky was fake, and I said for him to eat his carrots. Yeah, because Ruckus lied over and over, saying that you couldn't see the clouds moving. But I put on my glasses. You know, I need glasses. I look, it's like the clouds are moving, dumbass. Are you crazy? Anything to discredit me. Ruckus lied over and over again to me personally. I don't like him at all. Yes, he did. And he also called you a spick. I mean, is that appropriate to call you a racial slur? I'm proud of you, Luis. I pointed out so many Ruckus lies that I've been blocked for months. I can't stand people who lie intentionally. Fig dissolves. All right. Frank Meister called murder sheet snitches. Oh, I love when the rats turn on themselves. They eat each other alive. I don't know what you mean. Lee Cordell, explain what photo you have of me. This is a little concerning. Lee, what photo do you have of me? Is it from my stalker? All stories. Did someone say squirrel? I hear they trade squirrels over in Corruption County. All right. Stop talking about Deb. No, Deb is an asshole. Okay, look, Deb's True Crime Notebook is an asshole. She intentionally uh, lied about the obituary. Okay, and Deb, until you ever come clean about that obituary, I'm going to continue to call you an asshole because the fact that you're an older lady doesn't allow you to escape being an asshole. Okay, you were responsible for spreading the obituary, and you covered the ass of your friend Karen White. And until you come clean about it, uh, we're going to continue to call you out, Deb. You're an asshole. Thanks for texting, Prof. Megan. That stuff. Animal shadows are probably demon posed. True Crime Deb said no one will read Hennessy's material because she's part of them. She's part of them. Deb is Troll Farm. I mean, hello, guys. Look, Frank Meister, Marv, Deb, Sleuth Intuition. Everyone who colludes with the family is Troll Farm. Hello. I mean, I've been saying it for almost a year now. Yeah, please hit like, guys. Thanks for listening. I'm loving the chat right now. Okay. I think little Frankie once said, my sister's pregnant. I'm going to be a dad. Snay used people, but Murder Sheet turned the tables on him. Oof. Okay. I mentioned it to him too. He blocked me and then came back the next night with Julie airdropped them. No. Julie airdropped shit. No. We have all the receipts. I'm so sorry. I'm behind on the lingo we are talking about. I'll sit back a while. It's amusing watching them squirm. Just wait. Just wait until the next round of shit because they don't know what's coming next. But I told you we documented for more than a year. There's more come. There is more to come. This will continue to be an amazing week and month and year. All right. Greeno said on last night's live that he was riding past the bridge in a red Charger on the afternoon of the 13th. Well, we already have receipts about Greeno. Turn the down ballpark lights on, damn it. All right. Yes, I was poisoned in Indiana. I've never gotten the antibiotics. 2 rounds of antibiotics haven't fixed it. So now we're thinking it's a parasite. I've never seen a 50-year-old meth head with a clean record. Oh my God. Deb sat there and listened to Sonny accuse innocent kids for years. She is an asshole. It doesn't matter if she takes care of you. She's an asshole about the Delphi murders. No. It does matter. Laura, look, I'm blocking you. Here, look. Goodbye, Laura. Deb is an asshole. And it doesn't matter if she takes care of you with your illness. The fact that she's covering for the murders of Delphi victims is unacceptable. And she should come clean, tell the truth, and man up. And until then, I'll continue to say, Deb's True Crime Notebook, you're a troll farm, you're a colluder with the family, and something's wrong with you. And until you come clean, you have lost all credibility, and time will prove me correct. And yes, you covered Karen White's ass. You covered for Bossy's ass. And we know all about the obituary because it's been proven. So sorry about that. Sorry about that. And Laura, yeah, I mean, you're losing credibility, just like Nicholas McClellan, who you also cover for. You're seriously saying that it doesn't matter that someone published a fake obituary of a woman that had been the target of threats for a long time and still is? Remember, Noe, Holly, Prof. Why are we the biggest targets? Because we're the biggest truth tellers. Actual factual, okay? Now, we do love the unraveling, also truth tellers. There's a lot of other truth tellers, but we look at who are the targets. Okay, the main targets, Holly, Noe, and Prof from the Troll Farm. Secondary targets, unraveling from the prosecution. So you got to really wonder what's going on here. Told you the Troll Farm is based in Peru, centered around Tony Klein. It is what it is. Family has turned a lot of well-meaning people into puppets. Yes, they have. I run to get chips and all hell breaks out. Oops, sorry, AKA Radar. We're sorry. Okay, Murder Sheep is in this shit deep, and I hope the truth comes out of their nefarious behavior. Yeah, they're good at covering their own asses. They are. They were as much responsible for the fake story about the leaks as Mark Robert Cohen. Yeah. And everyone tried to make a no big deal about the death of Robert Fortson. Okay, Robert Kyle Fortson. Kyle is dead. Kyle is dead. He has a child who's just not even out of high school yet. And all of these assholes are covering the asses of themselves and each other rather than honoring the life of Kyle Fortson, who took his life because of these people. Holman, Snee, Mark Robert, Tommy Frost, all you fuckers, you got a body behind you. And then you had that obituary who was batshit crazy. Yeah, they did that to Holly. And they threaten Holly on an ongoing basis, and they act like it's nothing. Okay, they still have not, just like they have not told the truth about the leaks. They still have not told the truth about the obituary. And all we ask for is accountability. Tell the truth. Prof has just seen a pic sent to me of you and Indy on a sidewalk. Oh yeah, I took that pic. You know how I did? I have a stand for my camera. Okay, so I have this stand that holds the camera. It's kind of a tripod. I mean, it holds my phone. I'm trying to say, I have this stand that holds my phone. It's a tripod. So what I did, I set up the tripod on the sidewalk, put my phone in it, and I put it on auto. And then me and my little kid, we stood there and posed for the photo so I could send to my mom and all this and have a photo in front of the Freedom Monument. And that's the photo you've probably seen. I'm back. Interesting about CVS. Maybe once the regulations came in, he wouldn't play ball, so they were mad. Not saying he couldn't be doing stuff on the DL, but that would make sense. Well, they've always alleged. What I got alleged in the chat was he was a runner for the Outlaws, okay? And what I think he was actually doing was supplying the pseudoephedrine. It's my opinion. All right, Michael Osbrook in the house. Hey, welcome, Michael. Good to see you here. Good to see you. Michael's doing great work for everyone. Great work for Abby and Libby, Michael. Thank you so much. All right. I'd like to be a mouse in the courtroom when Hennessy takes people apart with a tiny camera. Yeah, we wish we'd have someone in there to take excellent notes. Everyone in there, please take excellent notes. French and Greeno has always said his alibi was that he is in a police station at the time. No, we know where he was. It's all it's all documented, submitted to law enforcement. Here are the missing links: Pat Brown, Jerome Weiss, Clayton Miller, Julian Powell. Yes. Do you guys know that Julian Powell posted a photo of eagles in Peru? Do you guys know what eagles is in Peru? Somebody put it in chat. What is eagles in Peru? And why would Julian Powell specifically post a photo of eagles in Peru? What is eagles in Peru, ladies and gentlemen? Put it in the chat. A person who served our country honorably his entire adult life, just some hillbilly from Kentucky could throw him under a bus and have no shame about it. Mike, they have our girls. Yeah, poor Robert Kyle Fortson. And these son of a bitch, spineless bastards sit there and pretend like his life meant nothing. Okay? They sit there and pretend like his life meant absolutely dirt because they choose to lie, dishonor him. If only Murder Sheet could have rallied behind Bring Back the Great Burger Chef, right? Yeah, the Hamburglers themselves, they should have stuck with doing what they do well, which is eating hamburgers. Okay. Mike, they have our girls, yeah. Yeah, but what about Julian Powell? Okay, why did you take photos of the Eagles? Do you know what the Eagles is? Do you know who hangs at the Eagles? Do you know what club loves to linger at Eagles? How is it relevant to the Delphi murders? I'll be posting that photo for you guys on the community page. I've been meaning to do it for like 6 months, but I just never get around to it because we're so busy with the social media drama. Okay, Luna Ray says the Eagles in Peru. All right, guys. So look, I caught up with the chat. That means we got 15 more minutes. You know my game. Every time we get caught up, 15 more minutes. 15 more minutes. And then we're out of here. So thanks everyone for being here. Look, remember, please hit up the donation pathways. They're all listed on the About Me section. You know, we got like the Cash App, Super Chats, the artwork, merchandise, any way you'd love to support the channel. This is our commercial that we have all the donation pathways and the support pathways for you guys. And we actually had one of our viewers received her merchandise, and she sent me a photo. Let me see before we go if I can share that, just so you can share in the joy, because she's the first purchaser of the merch. Okay, so let's see if I can show you some of what she got, and hopefully she doesn't get too mad at me. Okay, I'm not going to reveal her name because I'm sure she wants to remain private, but I'll show you guys. This is some of the merch. Okay. Okay, yeah, this will work. So let's see if I can get this on the screen somehow. Oh my gosh. Okay, gotta do this. Ooh, okay. Maybe it's possible. I'll give it a try. I mean, I don't know how easily this is done on the fly, but I'll give it a try. Try to get this up on the screen for you so you can see, like, this is the very first, this is a momentous occasion. Very first order of Prof's merch has arrived on the doorstep of our one of our lovely viewers. Okay. Let's see if I can get this done. This is nope, that won't work. Okay, so I have to make it a PDF. Okay, so one more moment. Let's make it a PDF. See if I can make it a PDF on the fly then. PDF on the fly. Let's go. Okay. Here we go. This is called Okay, let's try it again. Take a little time here. Almost there. This might work. Oh yeah, I think it will. Here we go. I don't know how good the colors will come across on a PDF, but we'll give it a try. Let's get this going. All right, let's see. In the meantime, while it's loading, let's see. I knew Libby was meeting someone at the trails, allegedly. Allegedly, that's a statement. Okay. Chris Todd said in a recorded call with Little Frank that Mark told him to blame the dead guy. It's bad. It's bad with this group. They're all fucking liars. They're going to blame the dead guy. Yeah, Little Frank's a clown. Of course he is. He's a piece of shit. He's a liar, and he's bought and paid for. And of course he's not welcome. No, he'll never be welcome on. Amy Celeste, go tell Frank fuck himself. Okay, tell him, admit who paid him, and then we'll talk. I don't know about who hangs at Eagles in Peru, but there's politicians and police. No, there's bikers. But, you know, we'll talk about that at a later time. Tony Klein. Any know more about the Eagles? Okay. Julian is cryptic with his photography. So why did he specifically post the Eagles in Peru as a tribute? Like we're fucking morons. Okay. My ex's family used to hang out over this way and had a lot of influential people who golfed together and went there to drink. Yeah, it's a hangout for murderers. But we'll talk about it later. Okay, here we go. There. Okay, let me get this out of the way. All right, check it out. That's your first order of some merch from Peru. I mean, from Peru, from the prof. But listen, what you're looking at here, this is some, these are prints. So instead of ordering large size, she ordered the little 8x10s, I believe. Um, but you got some, you got like a grocery bag, you got like a coffee cup, a sticker, some photography that are like just small size that are prints. And then you have a pink hoodie. So that's a pink hoodie in the top corner. Okay, so that's just a few of the merch items. I just wanted to show you because I'm proud of it. It's my first order of merch. All right, and that is what it is. So let's be done with that. That's. I just wanted you to see it really quickly. I'm happy with my first the merch. All the work I put into putting it together, it's worth it because look, now it's in someone's home and it's going to be a part of someone's living environment, and it's beautiful. And now, like I said, I am working on black and white photography now. Okay, so I'm working on black and white, and I will be adding the black and white because people are requesting black and whites, and I have black and whites. I just not thought of putting it up, but that's what we're going to do is add a few black and whites. Anyhow, thanks everyone for being here tonight. It's been a beautiful Thursday evening. Um, Tomorrow we're going to have our normal Friday night party. So on tomorrow it's just going to be a discussion with the chat. No presentation, no court documents, no blah 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 blah. We'll just have a normal little hang out with the chat tomorrow night. So that's what we normally do, and so please, I invite you back tomorrow night for the Friday night hangout. And until then, like I said, please subscribe to the backup channel. Please subscribe to our partner channels, who many of them are here in the chat. You will see a lot of our friends have channels, including AKA Radar and The Unraveling, Criminality, uh, Criminally Focused. Many of our chat members have channels. Go subscribe to them. Do all the nice things, and we will see you at another time. And I thank you so much. Okay, let me see. There's just a few closing comments here, and then we'll get out of here. Okay. Wow, you guys have talked so much since I last. Okay. Jeez. Where are we? Okay. I've watched the video and I heard her say it. What do you mean? Repeat that, Lambert Co. What are you referring to? I'm a little lost. I watched the video and saw and heard her say it. What did you see and hear? Okay. Jay says beautiful photos. Thank you so much, Jay. I, I'm really proud of my photography. I got some more that I'll be posting. Nice, Prof. What do you think were the three phones? I think that was three of the people that were there, part of the group that killed the girls. Okay. So she was repeating it, like said in an early interview, then said, "Oh my God, Mike, they have our girls." Oh, did we reach 503? All right. It happened tonight then. Party horn. Party horn. It happened tonight. Thank goodness. All right. Backup channel. 500. We reached our goal for the month. Oh, yeah. I'm so happy. So now we are established. I'll say this. Now I feel like the backup channel's on firm footing, just in case we ever need it. Okay. Lee Cordell says black and white photography is the best. Cool. All right. Yeah, it's hard. With that black and white photography, in my opinion, it focuses on the composition a little more. So it's a little more finesse in the black and white photography you have to have. Becky Patty said she knew Libby was meeting someone at the trails. Oh, that part. Yeah, there's that allegation over the years I've heard from her that they were supposed to be meeting someone. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah. Okay. She was standing behind Mike, like under his shoulder. He has numerous microphones shoved in his face, and he was saying the phone is ringing around town, and Becky said it, but the mic picked it up. Thanks for another great one. Hope you feel better soon. Might try probiotics instead of antibiotics, and a cup of hot tea with honey before bed. Thank you so much. All right, everybody celebrating. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I know you meant probiotics. Yeah. Well, you know what? I felt so sick from the 2 rounds of antibiotics just stripping me away that, yeah, I'm rebuilding with the probiotics now. I make my own yogurt with the Instant Pot. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but with the Instant Pot, you can make your own yogurt from milk. And so I make my own yogurt and I drink the kefir as well. And so I'm trying to rebuild now because, boy, that really tore me up. Okay. I'm going to have to reorder in black and white. Well, there'll be different things. We're going to figure that out. We're going to figure out, yeah, give me a few days and there'll be black and whites up there. So you check it out. Yeah, that's what I mean, Lee Cordell. The composition is especially important with the black and white, in my opinion. And so it's a it's a little more of a art form with the black and white. All right, makes a lot of my own stuff. Getting ready to start an herb garden. Awesome, cool, man. Cool. Yeah, I see you. All right, guys. Well, awesome, and it's been a wonderful night. Thanks everyone for joining the chat. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. So boom, shakalaka, Shack Attack, Cody, Derek, Shack, and Troll Farm. All right. So with that, Shack Attack, Troll Farm Attack, and we're out of here. And thank you for the congrats. Mac says another great live. Mac, you always come in at the extremely last minute. Tisk tisk tisk. Another great live. Congrats on 2K here and 500 over there. Well deserved. Yeah, it's quite a week. Thank you very much for everyone. It's everyone in the chat. Everyone watching, everyone in the chat. Okay, round of applause for you. It's well deserved for you. And you now have a home base. Okay, so thanks for everyone being here, and we'll see you later. And we'll get out of here with a little talk out of here. All right, talk your way out. That's how we'll do it. Good night, all. Stay awesome, everyone. Like Frenchie says.